Blind is my sworn enemy. Is this what it feels like? I'm here because I love to hate you kind of thing? It's okay. I'm alright with this. Sworn enemies with Twitch chat. Hey chat, you hate me so much. Now throw all of your money at the screen. Damn it, it didn't work. Anyway, let's play some Dwarf Fortress. Speaking of throwing money at the screen, chat, can you say hi YouTube, please? It is time for us to play some Burnvault. Hey, it did work. Thanks for gifting a sub, Nerif. Cheers, dude. You should have hit Phantom. Come on. My sworn enemy. It's changed. Yeah, don't, especially if you're in Canada, don't throw loonies at your screen. It will break. It will break your monitor, most likely. I recommend throwing paper money at the screen, preferably the bigger numbers. That's how Twitch integration to make streamers suffer works. You know, you're not wrong. Faulted. Thank you very much for the 10-pack. Appreciate you, mate. Strippers have coin purses in Canada? Have you ever been in a strip club in Canada? Because I have, and that's not a thing. At least not here. Although I've been told in Alberta they have coin slots. Although I don't know if that's actually true. All right. Narrative, thanks for getting Phantom in there. So this is the fort that we're building. This is the old fort. This is the abandoned fort. Monitor thrown out window. Well, I'm glad you know, frankly, if the instructions are unclear and your monitor got thrown out the window, at the very least, you didn't get thrown out the window, you know? I'm working on... So this fortress is called Burnvault. I want to make a Burnvault. I don't know what that is, but we need to figure that out, and I want to make one. The actual fort itself is this tiny little stairway that goes down to this first cavern layer, which got overrun and has now been reclaimed twice. The first time because we got overrun by amphibian creatures. The second time because we got... we had some weird bugs, so I had to retire and reclaim the fort. So we've reclaimed it once. The old bedrooms are all filled with coffins now. And eventually I'm going to unbuild those beds. And then there's a bunch of coffins here as well. And then there's this entryway that goes all the way down to here. And there's stuff everywhere because of the reclaims. And Manticore Alpha, thank you very much for the $5. And Elfie, thanks for the $1. And then this kind of little 5-way stairwell goes all the way down to the main fort, which is right down here. And this is where the dwarves are living now. Inside of these pillars in this cavern layer. There's at least 2 forgotten beasts in this cavern layer. One that can fly. So they could just fly into the fort because the top is open. So that hasn't happened yet, but we're probably going to get murked by a forgotten beast soon. We have, this is our little tavern and kitchen. These are our bedrooms. Some of them have beds, some of them don't, most of them don't. But, you know, the ones that do are nice. And then we've got this little walkway up here that goes all the way up here to more coffins because we need those. We need those badly. Orange, thanks for the 80 pennies. And then over here, we have a little walkway that goes all the way down here to this, which is where we are making currently just a ton of bags. But things are kind of slow going here because we just have so few dwarves in general that it's actually, like, becoming a process. So, like, we need to literally just, like, sit here and wait for them to do stuff because it takes so long. So that's what we're going to do here for a little bit. We're just going to let these dwarves run around and watch them build things and work their way through these jobs. As for named dwarves in the fort, we have Flykick, Gremlin, Papagano, who's named after my cat, Ryo Shincat, and Tellan Artho, UGDPY, the second Warfu, and that is it, because everybody else has died. I will turn on naming dwarves in a little bit. Any dwarves available to claim? Tons, but, you know, obviously I need the thingy to turn on, and you need to be the first to click it, or somebody has to gift it to you. Hello, Gold Bludgeoned. It's been a minute. How you been? Nope. Or they mentioned it, like it's in the works. It's something that Zach and Tarn are just doing that they just need to finish and get done. It's something that Tarn's working alongside of adventure mode stuff. Just busy summer. Oh yeah. I mean, summer is slow season for my channel. It always has been. And it's because people go on fucking vacation and shit. Like, how dare they spend time with families and go outside? Like, God. Jeez. But no, I mean, it's totally fine. People need a break. Any word on the drink bug from yesterday? Unreclaiming and re-reclaiming the fort fixed it, so whatever. I don't pester Putnam as much as I think you think I do. I haven't talked with Putnam since the interview. Does found family count as family? Fuck if I know. I've never obtained family from Lost and Found, so. Fem. What kind of dwarf would you like, or are you gifting that? Once again, Farmer Fem? Okay. Your fingies? What happened to your fingies? What'd you do to your fingies? This is your found family? Big fucking family. Christmas is gonna be complicated, man. Been clicking that button since 108, boy. Farmer Fem, Farmer Fem, Farmer Fem. So I don't have any farmers. How about Cookie Fem? Or I could do Herbal Fem. Or Soapy Fem? Chat room, thank you very much for that hype train with the $6.80 in bits and the 13 subs. Cookie Fem? Got it. Chef Fem is greatly pleased by her own looks and accomplishments, and she is very curious and sometimes to her detriment. She is extremely confident in herself. Okay, well, they immediately left. Sweet. She is very curious and sometimes to her detriment. She's extremely confident in herself in requiring her skills, and she often feels lustful. And she is often cheerful and does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. And she doesn't focus on material goods, and she likes to brawl, and she can easily fall in love or develop positive feelings, and she needs alcohol to get through the working day. No, these guys have been showing up like 2 to 3 times a year. They siege and then immediately leave. I think it's because we're in a really busy part of the world, so I'm assuming it's got something to do with that. This ain't the first time that's happened. She personally respects perseverance and friendship. She personally respects perseverance, finds friendship burdensome, and does not care about family one way or another, and dreams of creating a great work of art like selenite, trifle pewter, and aventurine, amber, goblets, and boogeymen for their terror-inspiring antics, and the sight of the mauve satins, and when possible prefers to consume wolf pearl and mullet beer. I can't wait for people to see boogeymen for the first time in Dwarf Fort. They're kind of great. And chickpeas, and absolutely hates snails. I should make a dwarves versus boogeymen video in, arena mode. That could be fun. I should do that. She is very wiry and her hair is crinkly and her very long hair is sharply hooked. She has a grating, raspy voice and her sunken emerald eyes have large irises. Her extremely sparse eyebrows are low and her lips are very thin and her ears are somewhat short. Her head is somewhat broad and her hair is brown and her skin is peach. And she has a husband who is a peasant and a pet turkey gobbler. She is a lustful omen. Omen of what? But let's let these dwarves work through these jobs that we've got, because we've got a lot of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're just in the wrong spot and they keep accidentally invading us. And also, I have no idea where any of these books came from, by the way, but there's a bunch of books in my fort and I've literally no idea where they came from. So there's that. You get aced out by someone else. Yeah, it's kind of tough. I wish I had a better way of doing it, but otherwise, we just never would have other things to stop over raiding spot. It's like it's the truck stop, you know. It's a good reason to add a library to the fort. Yeah, that's something we need to do today. Build a library. Written by the ghosts of the past. Yeah, or something. Fuck if I know. Or left here by visitors or something. So you know what? Actually, let's do what material? How are we doing for materials right now? 300, got a lot of iron, quite a bit of copper, quite a bit of nickel. Let's do, chat? Bronze bookcases? I think bronze bookcases. Yeah, bronze bookcases. Let's just do 15. Looks like this is all working as intended. Good to see. So this here is going to be the temple. Maybe this up here can be the library. A goblin? You mean a turkey? Or are you trying to say goblin? Anyway. I mean, I understood the lewd joke, but I'm also just like, really? That's all. I'm gonna start queuing up a library down there. Then up here, this area needs to be sectioned off a little bit. White tea is so good. Chat, can we all say in unison, go the fuck to sleep, fam? Like, right now. Go to bed. Or I will time you out for 8 hours. So you can do it of your own accord, or I will force you to bed. You just told me that you've slept for 1 hour in the last 36. The fuck, fam? Like, I agree. I don't like sleeping either, but, like, go to bed. What the hell? Long time ago, yeah, Forks. But yeah, please get some sleep at some point. Sheesh. Way too long to be awake. All right, did I make more slabs? Yes, I did. There's just an absurd number of ghosts in this fort. Absolutely absurd number of ghosts. So this over here is where more stuff is. Can I make a walkway to here? Yes, I probably can. I'm going to dig all the way up to this area up here. I'm going to go all the way down to here, and we're going to dig from here to here. We're going to make a little walkway going from there, from here to over here. And I'm going to maybe disconnect the bridge from up top, because up top here we have this bridge, and I'm thinking I disconnect this from there. We'll see. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. On repeat? No, I'm making them like 50 at a time. It's more of a question of like, do I have slabs that are ready to go for dwarves that need it? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the very slow, tedious process of unbuilding all of these beds. Oh, shit. Okay. So first off, we found Manticore Alpha's body. Which, did they just steal? But I've got these necromancers on the map that are here stealing bodies from us. I'm sure that's fine. How do you feel about the military here, Dwarf? Got one free space. Dreams of attaining a rank in society. Extremely confident in his skills. Zephon, you're joining the military. We'll make a second squad after all of these migrants have joined. Unless I find someone who perfectly fits it. A squad leader role, that is. Mastering a skill. Likes martial prowess. She's slow. She doesn't handle stress well. Bunch of livestock, too. In terms of mastering a skill, rarely feels discouraged. He thinks he is fairly important in the grand scheme of things. Is often nervous, active imagination, generally acts with an arrow for. Yeah, you'll do okay. And leader. Zom, I'll throw you in there. You're a siege engineer. Cheering hand is going to get tired. And if Chet gets too excited. Serpent woman skeleton? I think I need to kill this thing. I don't know why there's a serpent woman skeleton here. But there's the skeleton of a serpent lady. And I've got 2 dwarves that are vomiting and pretty injured. And I don't currently have a hospital of any kind. We'll see when we see a Fulton. See how this fight's actually going. They're punching it, and it's scratching them back. We got a few peasants that are going to need new clothing. These must have just been rezzed by those necromancers that just showed up. Okay, here comes the military. Zephon, the recruit, at the very least, has a weapon. Okay, Ghost was put to rest. Did they kill it? Assuming they killed it. Must have been one of the military that killed it. Regardless, I need to rebuild my hospital. And I just got a farmer's guild. Great. Was hoping we could avoid that for a little bit longer, but... Could make that into a hospital. I think where else could I put this? Because I do have this space for a hospital up top, but I really don't want to put a hospital there. I think I will just reactivate the hospital in the middle layer for right now. Don't think it's currently active. No, it is currently active. Okay, well, they'll just use that then. Anybody going to go recover wounded? Yes, dwarves are in fact recovering wounded. This dwarf can just run all the way back downstairs and get back to it. Yeah, there's a few... It really looks like some crazy battle happened here. It's a lot of bones on the surface. Yeah, that's what happens when you get attacked by like 200-300 things and lose all of your dwarves in the fort. So, I mean, that's pretty normal. Turns out. And then also retire the fort and then reclaim it, and then everything gets scattered and all the bodies get scattered. Like, I literally had to make like 100+ coffins to rebuild this fort. And I had to put them all into these, like, bedrooms. Like, all of these bedrooms just... Oh, no, I don't want to remove that coffin. All right, let's back down to here. Let's install some more beds. So, chat, what have you been building in Dwarf Fort recently? I assume some of you have been playing this. Although I feel like every single time I talk about Dwarf Fortress, there's more and more people being like, yeah, taking a break, or took a break, and coming back now, so. What have you been working on, chat? Anything fun happened to you recently? This fort's been a lot, to the point where it's almost been hard to keep up with, because it's been so much. But that's, I think, been kind of part of the fun of it. The fact that it's kind of been a lot. That's not the tool I wanted. How original. You know, it's kind of funny. Every now and again, I'll be like, guys, I'm doing this new, like, idea for a fort build. And someone will be like, ah, yes, that thing that Krug Smash did 6 months ago. And it's like, he doesn't own the rights to that. It's not a unique idea. God damn it. Going from the top of a mountain to the magma sea? Ooh. Pumping the magma back up or doing anything fun with the lava? Or how you doing, Sniper? It's good to see you again. It's good to have you around again as well. Hyrule Castle from A Link to the Past. There's a mega project going on my Discord. I don't know what their Twitch name is, but this is the minimap currently. I'm assuming he's just summoning in materials, because the one screenshot he posted, he had like, it's like 6 dwarves, or like 16 dwarves, I think. But curious to see that when that's done. Blindest for seeing how the sausage is made. I mean, I've talked about this a few times. I have a hard time watching some of Krug Smash's stuff because I can see exactly where he's pulling the storylines from. So it's kind of like I mean, this is a cool narrative, but I see what you've done here. But, you know, I think it also, it's a very good example of how much storytelling you can do with Dwarf Fortress. So I'm going to put my Farmers Guild that they're demanding I build up here, I think. Because this is going to become a farmed area. Paige has a lot of good ideas. There's a lot of good ideas on the wiki for dumb things you can do in Dwarf Fort. But I'm not sure I've heard of that particular one. Let's fly back down. Let's place some more beds. So got to get that squad training. Tons of dwarves need beds. Nope, this is default world gen. I don't really do any advanced world gen stuff because, believe it or not, it's one of the parts of the game that I know almost nothing about. I mean, like, I know how it works to a degree, but I know so little about it that I can't really explain it to people, so I kind of don't bother messing with it much. Because I think, like, it's when I do mess with it, it's just me fucking around. Going like, I have no idea what this does. So it actually kind of, for that reason, I kind of don't do much with it. You really are a Piston fan, aren't you, Sniper? Dwarves can't really see through glass, but sun can shine through glass. Let's do that. That. And that. And that. I wish there was a version of Advanced World Gen that was a little bit more user-friendly. You should see the old one. It used to be way less user-friendly. Yeah, it's kind of like deciphering a different language, isn't it? It's kind of a lot, I would say. I don't think it's unusable, but it's certainly not easy. What? It's got a key for a game, very strange, but also looks kind of like my thing game. Anybody here played Archmage Rises? Developer literally just sent me a key. Or asked me if I want one, I guess. Oh, geez. Here's me checking my email while I'm streaming. Yes, I do need to update your name in the bot, don't I? Hold up. There we go. Sorted. Brick floor? Well, quartzite and rock salt bricks. I've got a Feymood and they've claimed a clother's shop. Set this and set it up as a farming area real quick. Guild hall. Our first guild hall, the farmer hall. The Sweet Earth. I like the name of that. I think the Sweet Earth is going to have some silver statues in it. Put 5 of them in there. And I will put a farming... we'll do like 2 farmers' shops like just outside here. I don't want to make them out of the nearest material. I actually just want to make them out of microcline. You know, let's do marble. Marble's a nice color. And we'll do a little walkway over here to this. And this we're going to start farming in. Right here. What's the value of that? 1,000? Not bad. Unsuspend that and unsuspend that. Yeah, that's generally what happens to me, Eco Carib, when I use Advanced World Gen. What's up, Dak? How's things? Should probably unpause the game, that would help. Approve that. Getting criminals cases yet? I need to make a captain of the guard, methinks. It depends on how, so the height of the caverns depends on the elevation of the embark location versus sea level. So you can end up with super tall caverns, but you can also end up with super short caverns. I'm getting ready to give Dwarf Fortress another go? Like, as in, returning to do some projects, or did you just bounce off it the first time? I mean, you know, if you need assistance, me and Chad are here. I'll work our way through that. Why did I make you into stoneworker shops? Those are supposed to be farmers' shops. Screwed up here. Farming. Farmer's shop. Let's actually go with microcline instead, like I intended to initially. You get tall caverns when waterfall hunting? Exactly. You understand how that works. Or at least how that one interaction works. You're starting from the beginning again, you forgot what you were doing, so you're just gonna get a new world to generate. Yeah, that's generally a pretty good way to do things. I mean, it's pretty easy to kind of forget what you were doing in Dwarf Fortress because it's a game about so much. They finally cleaned up the blood up here? That's insane. Okay, let's start building this library. Kind of just want to queue up a bunch more blocks. I think we're going to hold off on the library a little bit, and I'm going to get this new farming area set up. I think that's what we're going to do. Workshops, farm plot. farm plot. I'm going to build a piece of flooring right there. And a piece of flooring right there so that I can build on top of this. Same with one right there. I'm just getting rid of these saplings. Might have to do that with the, oh no, the cave wheat's dead, so I probably won't have to do it with the cave wheat. Aerith, Cogimbil, the peasant, has created Lushethinthul, a pigtail rope, and offers it to the massive danger. So that's kind of awesome. An artifact rope. This is a pigtail rope. While craftsmanship is of the highest quality, it is encrusted with cushioned limonite cabochons and encircled with bands of oval, clear tourmaline cabochons. It is made from pigtail cloth. The object menaces with spikes of pigtail and gabbro and alpaca bone. On the item is an image of diamonds and gabbro. Pigtail rope, well. Probably for right now, it's just going to go on this pedestal, though. I keep track of it. But I'm thinking maybe a well connected to here. Because I could go all the way down to here pretty easily. So what I could do is I could dig down to here. And do that, basically. And down here at the bottom, we can dig out a little space. And this will give us a nice clean well. Assuming I can, like, you know, actually do a decent job with this. There we go. That can be our little well. Easy enough. We can just fill it from the top up here. Real dwarven rope? Absolutely. I need to sneeze, and I've needed to sneeze for like the last 10 minutes. Oi. It's never a good feeling of sitting there going, fuck me, I need to sneeze. All right, let's make a little pen pasture like right here. Apparently I caught a giant olm. I should train that. With light response? I've never, like, I've had people swear at me for years that that works. I've never managed to make that work. No. If that works for you, good for you. Doesn't work for me. So we are working on those stairs mostly currently. We got this incoming next. Well, according to certain people who are superstitious, sneezing twice means someone's talking about you. And considering I'm streaming on Twitch right now, that seems pretty likely. And also, as somebody with pretty bad eyes, I shouldn't look into bright lights, so. A gaunt one just visited your fort. It's the first time have you seen an undead in your world you're playing and no nearby X? Like, as in, like, visited your tavern? Because they can just be guests. Like, perfectly normal guests. That's not too uncommon, actually. I really need specialized farming dwarves now. That's kind of cool. I once had a fort where the not the expedition leader, the outpost liaison was a winged humanoid necromancer experiment that before I had a somewhat open tavern, it would just fly to the center of the map and fly to the highest point at the center of the map and just sit there flying. And he would just sit there for like half a year. We just had like this weird winged gargoyle that just lived up there that supposedly had white feathers and fluff. And it was royal. It was like a noble. It was the outpost liaison. Which is pretty cool. Twitch just sent out their secret partner newsletter, and it includes nothing particularly interesting or new. Skimmed it. Might as well also make cheese and shear animals. I do have some animals I can shear. Why don't they come in? Do you have no public tavern? They're technically guests. If they're just hanging out at the edge of the map, they're guests, which means they want to get into a public tavern. So you have to open up your tavern to guests full time if you want to allow them in. Which I don't like doing, personally. Actually, hold up. I can now go up here. I can go farming. I can go farm plot. Oh, actually, let's do one apart. Let's go farming, farm plot, go right here. And then I can build around them and make them look nice. Except this peacock here is going to cause problems. That got injured and was stuck unconscious in your hospital for several years, and then finally you just expelled him from your fort and he woke up and left? Yeah, because your dwarves can't technically doctor characters that are from outside your fort, which is something that needs to be changed at some point. Also, did I completely miss Archangel's resub at tier 2 for 7 months? I'm very sorry. I know that you're still in chat. I completely spaced and missed that. Did not see that go through. So I just have to say thank you very much for resubbing for a 7th month. Certainly did not see that. We'll do cave wheat, pigtails. Eventually we'll do plump helmets. And we'll do sweet pods. It's all good. Yeah, I don't know. I come from an era of Twitch where it's like if I don't say thank you for resubbing, I'm just a bad person. Like, you just gave me money. Like, I should say thank you. Admittedly, like, I talked about this a bunch yesterday, and I'll spare you guys today, but, like, it's been a really fucking shitty week for me, so... It's a lot of family stuff going on, which has been not fun, so... I seem a little bit spacey, that's why. Now let's do that. This should look pretty cool, I think. Your little farming spot. Come dwarves. Got another ghost. And once all this is done, we will move down to that library and work on that. I think that's the next project. We're also going to work on more rock blocks because we need those. When they randomly stream. I've gotten that for years, where it's just like, you're literally the only streamer I watch. And I wonder how common that is, you know? Like, I feel like when I first started watching Twitch, it was a lot of, like, everybody that I knew watched, like, dozens of streams. But I wonder if that's just because back in those days, it was, like, very much the hardcore crowd that were, going to be very dedicated to the community and all that. You must be going to bed and kind of half asleep in your chair. Well, you have a good snooze stone. We will see you on at the next time that we see you. You have a snooze that is good. Hopefully better than the snoozes I've had recently due to pet sitting. All right, well, we got all this going, which is good. And I'm going to queue up a repeating job, which is processing plants. Process plants, we'll just say 20. And when number of processable plants is greater than 20, process plants. A dog and a cat. The dog is a miniature poodle, and she is 11 years old. It's my mom's poodle. And the cat is 22. Or maybe you're just getting old. I think it's more the second one that we're just getting old. That, like, the new audiences coming into Twitch now are, a lot younger than they were previously. So the result is, I think that there's just, a difference in taste in the types of streams that people are watching. And this directly means as well that there's a difference in type of stream that people are producing. If there's we talked about this a bunch yesterday with like the NPC, what's it called? With the NPC TikTok streams and all that shit. Of just like, and even like VTubers to a degree, it's like, it's the same kind of content for a different kind of audience. Like I was actually listening to Giant Waffle talk about this on his stream the other day. Because I like to lurk in Giant Waffle streams sometimes because his streams are super chill. And he was just, talking about, like, the VTubers and how they're just largely, it's just a different audience. And I kind of completely agree. People who are younger than DF will be 18 next year. That's fucked up. Now that makes me feel old. Of course, once you're in it, you find my corpse. I mean, I knew you were dead already, Manticore. We got the notification that you'd been missing yesterday, but... I mean, they will be next year. K-Dranos. Might as well queue those up. And might as well spin thread.
7-3.
Holy shit. That's a big number, dude. Chat room, can I get a big round of beers for 73 months from Carlo? Cheers, mate. Well, you're more of a podcaster listener. You watch a stream on your third monitor type these days? Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, so profit in this industry is driven by interaction, right? Like, the more interaction you have, the more money you're set to make. while streaming. So anything that increases interaction increases profits, usually, right? The type of streams that I do, and the type of streams that, like, Giant Waffle does, and these kinds of more, it's weird to say old school, but like the more chill type of streams are not pushing for a lot of interaction, right? Like, yeah, there's interactions. Okay, Lorbon the Stoneworker. Who are you, like, the most pissed off person in the fort? Are you related to anybody important? No. Okay, get out. Just go away. Just don't want you in my fort anymore. You are throwing tantrums repeatedly, and I don't need it. I do think that these types of streams are going to become less and less common to find. Because they are not as profitable, right? And, I've been pretty public about this, I think, my entire career doing this, which is I don't do this to make all of the money. Money is really nice. I like making money, and I like having money, and I like being able to pay bills. But I don't do this to make all of the money. I do this because I really, 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 really like promoting games that deserve to be promoted. Narav, what kind of dwarf would you like? And it allows me to, build a community and provide a service, which I really like. That's why I do this. And the more I see kind of this current wave generation, or whatever you want to call it, of the type of streams that are in fashion, it's all driven around the kinds of streams that make money. And that's totally fine if that's what people want to do with their content. If all you want to do is make all of the money, then okay, do that. If I get a captain of the guard, I do not want to make a captain of the guard yet, no. And I do not have a captain of the guard. I'm currently just trying to recover this fort and build the basics and stuff that I really need, and right now I don't really want to mess with the military system. Do I have a broker? Yes, I do. Vubak, who is in the military. We'll probably have a captain of the guard by the end of today. I just don't want to do it right now. Alright, you killed Squid Knights, the Ruthless Lakes, the Forgotten Beast. I want to say that was a slug. He can be very happy and optimistic. And he is not a private person. He freely shares details of his life, and he is sloppy with his living space. He is grounded in reality, and he has a calm demeanor. He tries to do things correctly each time and is somewhat uncomfortable around those that appear unusual or live differently from himself. He is slow to trust others, and he has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications. He occasionally overindulges, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day, and he does not mind being outdoors, at least for a time, and he doesn't really care about anything anymore. He personally values honesty, and values cunning, and respects perseverance. And likes claystone, silver, and milk quartz, unicorn bone, and gems, and helms, and coins, and snails for their shells, and the sound of the sparkles of bewilderment, and when possible prefers to consume chimpanzee and tomato wine, and hemp flour, and elephant head amaranth seeds, and can't stand mosquitoes. His hair is dry, his very long beard is arranged in double braids, his medium-length sideburns are double, and his medium-length sideburns are neatly combed. His very long mustache is arranged in double braids. His medium-length hair is neatly combed, and his chin he is thin. He is thin, and his nose is extremely short. His eyebrows are low. His lips are very thin. His dark tan skin is slightly wrinkled, and his upper body bears a massive straight scar. And his ears are somewhat short, and his hair is pumpkin, and his eyes are aquamarine. Welcome to the fort. Must have done some psychological damage. I don't know. I think that dwarf's kind of okay, actually. They were pretty happy. Yeah, if anything, I think it's the other death in this fort that's going to cause people issues. All right, let's get those animals moved up. Yeah, this is going to end up being my library, I think. And I guess we'll put, or no, this is going to end up being the hospital. We'll put the library one layer beneath it. So that is not what I wanted to do. I got a decent amount of diorite. I could go around the edge with diorite. We'll do that. Also need to expand that second squad that I queued up. But yeah, no, most of the mental trauma in this fort is just coming from the piles and piles and piles of bodies that were here when we embarked, combined with also just the dozens and dozens and dozens of ghosts. So, so largely I think it's been kind of a combination of that. Okay, so this down here is going to be a well. How best do? Everyone you claim dies in hamster fashion? What do you mean by hamster fashion? What the heck is in hamster fashion? Ever heard of a hamster dying of old age? No, but I also have never known anybody who's owned a hamster. I knew people who owned guinea pigs and they died of old age. But I knew a person who owned a chinchilla, but no on the hamster. I also knew people who had rats. I'm trying to think of other rodents as pets I know that people have had. Can probably get rid of those growing sites over there pretty soon. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put metal bars in this. And then go just above and channel down and in. So this can have vertical bars, copper, vertical bars, copper, second one. I just do 3. 3 in a row. You had rabbits growing up? Never had rabbits. Gotta say. Now we just gotta wait for somebody to come down here. And then we can pull top off of it. And it'll be great. Got clothing still being worked on up here. I think we need to make everybody new clothes pretty soon. We are getting to that point. Yeah, no, we had like some weird pets growing up, but nothing like no rodents. I think my parents just didn't like rodents. No worse than cats. What, rabbits? I mean, it's like an odd thing to compare rabbits to, but let's go over here and deconstruct this well. Kind of just want them to use the new one. And we're going to go here, and I'm going to go to mechanisms and machines, and I'm going to go to well. Yes, let's use a microcline thing. Let's use a bloodthorn bucket, the named rope, and then the named mechanism. Because we also have an artifact mechanism. Pet raccoon and a squirrel. There's a YouTube channel of this guy with a very, very, very thick Texas accent who has a raccoon, a coyote, and a sheepdog. And it's just most of it, and he just uploads shorts, and he uploads like 10 shorts a day, and they're mostly just like the coyote and the raccoon like play fighting. Duck's in the Discord. Chat, Duck! There's a Discord. So anyway, up here we're going to fill this in. And that's going to be our well. And just invisible them all. That I don't get to see what I was too lazy to fix. This will fill up. Ah, fair enough. Wait, really? You can litter box train rabbits? I had no idea. A lock grasp on the fridge because of the raccoon? Yeah, I wouldn't want a pet raccoon. They're too thummy. You know, they have thumbs and they know how to use them. They can open things. Be like, I would imagine having a raccoon would be like having a like a weasel or like a ferret kind of thing, but way bigger. It's like if it exists, they will get into it and they will destroy it. You can litter train almost anything. I don't know how much I agree with that blanket statement, but some things, yes, certainly can be litter trained. I guess the almost kind of gives you the plot armor there of being able to be like, you can litter train almost anything. Yes. There's a lot of things you can litter train. Fish? Yeah, good luck. There you go. You can't litter train fish. There, we found the limits on what you can litter train. There's something real funny about that Morap to me about just fish? Question mark. Yes, the almost gives you the plot armor, like I said. Reptile Man is fighting with a forgotten beast. And a thief stole a marble? I'm assuming that they mean a marble boulder. But something stole a marble boulder from my fort, chat. Why? Of all of the things you could steal from Burnvault, you stole a boulder. That's just very funny to me. Blind losing his marbles? Marble. Singular. I didn't lose my marbles. And those who can, you forget the numerous insects, fishes. Yeah, good luck litter training a spider. Although also good luck finding spider poop because it's so small. To carve a glorious statue to the dare. Oh, totally. Devilish. Also, hey, Lanix, what's up? How's the fort? Pretty good. You hate crowmen. Especially undead. Why are undead elves so bloody strong? Undead everything are strong. The reason undead everything are strong is because they don't get overexerted. Like, you'll notice, like, your best dwarves, super duper strong until they start to get tired. Whereas undead, they don't have, like, sleepy, so they can just kind of keep fighting. Which makes them super goddamn strong. I think Kitty is politely asking for some food. Is it lunchtime, Cat? All right, chat. Hold up. It's brush o'clock. Hello, Weeb Trap. Me? Domesticated? No. Not even close. I'll have you know, I never leave the toilet seat down. I ain't domesticated. I used to. Not anymore. Isn't that the whole thing about bachelors being domesticated is like if they leave the toilet seat up or down? And also the amount of beer in the fridge. You leave yours open because the cats drink out of... I wouldn't encourage that because sometimes there's like, you know, bleach in them. I don't know how you clean or how often you clean your toilets, but... We keep yours closed because the cats drink out of them. Exactly! This cat used to drink out of them. He doesn't have the dexterity to do that now. I mean, he's 22, so... Which is why his hair is so matted, is because he literally can't clean himself. Not a bad pull. But they prefer the toilet? Yeah, I mean, that would be a good reason to keep the door shut. You can toilet train cats, but it's a terrible idea because if you... Bad. Because if you toilet train cats, then if you also teach them to flush, then they will really increase your whatever your water bill is. Because they'll just flush the toilet for no reason. My little sister learned this the hard way. I guess the short version is just get a litter box. like normal people, just get a goddamn litter box. Right, let's make this into a hospital. I would actually argue that it's better to not let the cat outside, depending on where you live, because they are completely unthreatened predators, and at the very least here have caused some massive amounts of damage to like local wildlife. So if you have the option, it's actually a better idea to not let your cat outside. Put a bell on them. I kind of genuinely believe that that's a bit of a farce. I don't think that actually really does much. I'm not gonna be one of those people where there was somebody in chat a couple of weeks ago who was just like via text condemning anybody who's just like, I have no respect for you because you let your cat out. It's like, no. I mean, like, I'm not gonna do that, but if you're given the option, probably wise to keep them as indoor cats. Anything bigger than a bug anyway. Yeah, true, and it also depends on the cat. Like, my neighbor has a cat named Charlie who's like a fucking moron. Like, that cat is stupid. That is a really dumb cat. Like, can't do shit. He, like, that cat, like, would have a hard time killing a slug. Like, that cat can't do damage to anything or anyone. I'm pretty sure he, like, doesn't see super well and is, like, kind of cross-eyed, too. All right, speaking of cats, I am going to give this cat his bi-hourly allotment of a teaspoonful of food. I will be right back. It'll take me, like, 90 seconds. All right, kitty has been fed. My old orange cat used to chase birds. He caught a baby jay one day, and the parents camped his window for like 6 weeks and dive bombed him the second he stepped outside. Fucking right. Deserves it, the murderer. What a fucking monster, dude. Best part is that your other cat at the time realized and spent 6 weeks doing nothing but taunting him since the birds would leave the black cat alone but ruthlessly hunt the orange one. Oh, that's funny. The dead walk, hide while you still can. Okay, but they are actually assaulting. I'm just gonna kind of hope that they're all inside. Just gonna kind of do that. There we go. We just had a dog grow up. We're stuck in an ad now, so I will wait for 90 seconds. I mean, like, I'm a hypocrite saying that you shouldn't let cats outside, right? Like, the cat that I'm cat sitting right now grew up on 6 acres of property next to a 20-acre property next to a 30-acre property. So he had, like, 50 acres of forest to fuck around in. And he brought home rabbits. He brought home rats. He brought home voles, mice, you name it. If it had 4 legs and was fluffy, he probably killed it. We used to always joke he would bring home a dog one day, and he never did, but... so I am a bit of a hypocrite, you know, saying that. He used to bring home snakes. You know, like, all of the things that, like, he shouldn't. Rats are pretty impressive. When this cat, that cat that I was just brushing, was this big. This big. Like, less than 6 months old. Brought home a rat that was this big. I remember that day. It was like the size of my forearm, that rat. Admittedly, I was like 10. He also chased a bear up a tree once. A black bear, admittedly. But he chased a bear up a tree. There was a bear just like chilling and eating rotten plums in our backyard area because we had like 6 plum trees that were basically just like unmanaged and wild in the backyard. There's a ghost. Go, Den. Okay. I just need to place the slab. So yeah, no, he would kill like anything and everything. If it moved, he would kill it, and he probably killed multiples. So I am like one of the worst offenders, or my family is a pretty bad offender of cats being, you know, ruthless murderers, right? But it's also the reason I don't own a cat, right? I just take care of this one sometimes. They leaves random stuff on your car. The crows do? People's gloves? You should train that cat to bring home spare change. Be like those people who like have trained crows to bring home like cash. All right, so let's just do silk shirt, silk dress, silk trousers. And let's just do 50 of each. Kyra Asylum, hello, how are you doing? As in tips from restaurants? Oh, I mean, like, it's definitely getting a lot of it from, like, completely illegitimate locations. Like, crows don't know ownership. With a bag of weed in her mouth. Can I have your cat? Change my mind, chat. I want a cat now. I think I'm gonna go get a cat and see if I can train it to steal my neighbor's weed. What the hell? A bag of weed. What the hell's a cat doing with a bag of weed? Must have been a Canadian cat. Cat after my own heart. That is hysterical. Feed cat. Cat eats all of his food. Dog goes, licks cat's bowl. After cat is done. What's happening right now in the background? Probably looking for some catnip. I was gonna say, I don't think weed smells like catnip. Did you give the weed back? Did you say, I'm sorry, but my cat stole your weed? You can have it back now if you like. That's just a really funny concept to me. Okay, so we are currently still melting metal blocks. How about a dealer you could pay in pets? Under siege by zombies and necromancers, yes, Ivan. But most of this fort is based on cavern stuff, so. The Master, I don't know if I'd say this, but you're trying to take over the world with your civilization. Should you demand surrender or just immediately skip conquering sites? It depends on the site. If it's a smaller site, conquer it. If it's a bigger site, demand surrender. Just get the best squads you can, and then every, you know, couple, like, and then every couple invasions of the larger sites, demand surrender, and just keep doing that. And eventually you'll take over, but it'll take a long time. I'm trying to see. Not easily hated, develop negative feelings, prefers, does not easily let everyone live as harmoniously as possible, can easily fall in love or develop positive feelings, is troubled by this, and she dislikes romance. Holds romance in a low regard. Well, your husband's dead. That's unfortunate. I should probably just come up here and chop down trees and such. Well, it's just it's better to demand surrender against bigger sites because they take so much fucking longer to kill. So for me, that's what it is. It's just like time to kill type deal. Guys should make this into a second barracks. Move the better squad up here, maybe. Throw some statues in here, armor stands. And 10. Gonna make this into a new barracks. So I'm going to go all the way down here, and we're going to move the walled dots from down here to up there. Literally sitting outside in a snowstorm because play is more important than following the burrow order? Oh, yeah. I mean, dwarves finish all of their jobs before burrow order, and play is a job, so that is perfectly normal dwarven behavior. I was going to make this into a temple, but scratch this. We're going to make this into the library. It just redoes play over and over? No, play is a really long job. Like, it looks like it's just doing it over and over, but it's just a really, really, really long period of time thing. But hey, if the child dies, it's fine. They're practically lemmings anyway. There's more where that came from. Library got any books? There's books lying around in the fort. I haven't acquired any myself, so you're asking me a question that I don't actually have an answer for because I haven't built the library yet. So you're asking me, do you have any books? I think so. That's just like most Dwarf Fortress things. Out of context, it's like, what? So I'm not sure, like, really how you want me to answer that question about the books thing. Because genuinely, I'm not sure. Well, let's let dwarves come in here and build this thing. And then we'll queue up the library. And up here as well, we can work on actually finishing up this hospital. Let's actually just do a little operating theater down here. A chest in between each one. We'll place a traction bench up there. Making cloth into, or silk into clothing. Hopefully that stuff's being claimed. And there we go. And just chill for a little bit. Follow a dwarf who's doing constructions. Getting low on drink? 350 is low. We got 70 dwarves. Since when is 350 low on drink? Yeah, that's fine, because we're not currently producing any. I mean, not trading with traders does hurt your relations with their faction, but if it's like your own dwarves, they don't really care. I mean, it's suboptimal. You do want to trade with them every year. If it's a faction that isn't your faction, then they get some hidden points against you, and if they get enough hidden points against you, then they just invade you. $350? I'm gonna press X to doubt, Orange. I know you're an alcoholic, but come on. Do yourself some credit. And does a small gift also count to please them? Any trade of any amount as long as you're trading, and gifts are necessary to get the king in your fort. If you want royalty in your fort, you have to gift stuff back to the mountain home. Gosh. Can really tell that the majority of people watching my YouTube channel have lost interest in the community fort videos. I'm going to keep doing them because the people who like them really like them, but man. The one I uploaded this morning has got less than 400 views in the first 3 hours, which I would consider a video that's doing okay would have to get 400 views in the first 90 minutes. Of sending your angry dwarves away? No. Like, literally, like, that's what you should do when you have too many angry dwarves, is expel them. That's why that mechanic exists. There used to be some ramifications if you'd send them to other places in your faction, as in, they used to maintain all of those negative thoughts when they would arrive at the new fort, but it renormalizes their stress when they arrive at new locations. They maintain the, like, PTSD. Telenartho, the chief medical dwarf, has been possessed. They maintain their PTSD, so if they're, like, if they've seen some shit, they will still have those reoccurring negative thoughts, but, like, if you make a new fort and they show up there is a less chance that you'll have issues because, like, yes, they keep their negative thoughts, so if, like, they've seen some shit, basically, they'll go downhill rapidly when they arrive in your fort. Stonecrafter's been missing for a week. Interesting. Somebody must be on the surface. But the actual what's the word I'm looking for here? The actual result is that they'll just be fine at this point. Like, it's pretty easy to, like, remedy it. It's claimed a stoneworker's workshop. So, like, I honestly, is there any long-term ramifications for expelling upset dwarves? No, not really. Not in the current game anyway. In previous versions of the game, kind of, but not currently. Unless they're, like, were creatures. If it's a were creature and you expel it into your own faction, there's a chance they may just go off and infect other people. I think I'm going to make UGDPY a scholar. We'll see what they come up with. I mean, just, how about this? Instead of wishing for that, Tygo, go look up the versions that it was active and try and play the game with it. It's not fun. Because, like, if they did bring it back, they would have to completely change how it worked. And the way that it worked in the game back then was not fun. Almost, it was unplayable. Like, within year 4 of the fort, none of your dwarves could claim housing. Because one dwarf owned all the houses. And would charge too much for rent. It's like, Telenartho is making an artifact and has claimed marble, 2 pieces of tetrahedrite, rough, chalistonies, and bronze bars, and bloodstones. All right, now we'll see how many books we'll have. I'm sure it will be above 0 because there's at least one here. There's also one here. Uncovering Kingdom Saffron and a one-page essay entitled First Nemo. The Sable and then the world. The Stable and then the world. Or the Sable and then the world. First Nemo, the Sable, and then the world. The Forgotten Beast. Setrub, Tob Ingo has come. A gigantic eyeless dove. It has a jointed trunk, and it appears to be emaciated. Its golden yellow feathers are long and broad. Beware its deadly spit. Ah, it's on the level with us, so it could fly into our fort. Question is, does it? I mean, Dwarf Fortress kind of has a small economy for personal items. It's just based on needs and likes and wants, right? They just don't trade any physical items for it. They just go claim what they want, and they own items, and they store them in their bedrooms. Telenartho, the chief medical dwarf, has created Dog Oshot, a marble bracelet, and offers it to the massive danger. This is a marble bracelet. All craft store ship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of round tetrahedrite cabochons and square-cut bloodstones, and this object is adorned with hanging rings of bloodstone and menaces with spikes of bronze. On the item is an image of clouds and marble. On the item is an image of dwarves in tetrahedrite. The dwarves are laboring. The artwork relates to the foundation of Burnvault by the Big Danger of the Imperial Coal in the early spring of 508, before the initial fall of this fortress. Personally, I have no interest in the economy coming back. What I would like to see, though, however, is when we get playable humans, among other factions, I would like to see the humans have some sort of economy requirement. I think that would be fun. Having factions, because I like factions that operate differently. That very much entertains me and is something I really like. There's so many forgotten beasts in this map, chat. I don't think it's good. If they were to just take the economy the way it was before Tygo and put it back in the game as an option, the game would just get negative reviews because it was a awful addition to the game. So, no, not everything is better as an option. Some things are best just removed. And one of the reasons I respect this game so much is because they know when shit's bad, get rid of it. The game received an update against crashes. The most recent update was like a couple days ago, and it does have some fixes against crashes. Are you having large numbers of crashing issues? Because I'm not. I've heard a lot of people talk about crashes for Dwarf Fortress recently, and it's like, I can maybe count on one hand the number of times I've seen crashes in the last month, which is better than any AAA game. Surprise me, thank you very much for the 7th month. But your best way to figure out if there's been patches for the game, QC Broly, is go look at the news posts on Steam. Do you trade artifacts? Sometimes. Bracelets are not useless. They can be assigned to nobles, which makes your nobles happier and makes them less pissed about you failing mandates. So they are not useless. You don't want it in its initial form. Okay, allow me to say this. I would rather that Zach Tarn and Putnam work on literally anything else for Dwarf Fortress than bringing back the economy. I would rather we get better sieges. I would rather we get adventure mode in a more timely manner. I would rather we get the, literally anything else they have planned first. It's like, yeah, I mean, it would be cool if coins did something. But do I think it's something they should bring back in the near future? Absolutely not. Maybe after Myths and Magic when humans are playable. How do you make free metal without them? DF hack, summon object. Easy peasy. Next question. Speaking of coins, I'm going to make some gold coins. Yeah, they're a fun little trade good. Also, I thought that they fixed coin metal duping. Do coins make dwarves happy? I mean, they don't claim them or anything. So, no. They're more just like a fun thing for the player to make. We're pumping concrete outside, and it's a really weird squelching sound. Oh, lottie coming. Where is it? There it is. Time is out of joints. I could roll them one real quick. Also, hello. You had a custom mod with a workshop that spawned coins to skyrocket sieges very quickly? What, so that you get attacked with more shit? I mean, you could also just, like, go to difficulty, go to custom settings, and change the assault parameters so that they attack you when you have less value. You don't need a mod to do that. Because by default, you need 80 dwarves in your fort and a certain amount of value before they notice you. It's either or. Either 80 dwarves or a certain amount of value. You can also change the size of sieges there. So if you want to get attacked very quickly, you could do that. You don't have to spawn items into existence for that. When you're in an embark with lots of metals, you like to have a yearly job to mint coins. Oh yeah, I mean, like, one of the best uses for coins, in my opinion, are building like a history of your fortress museum. Where, I mean, it's going to attack us eventually and then we'll kill it. Where essentially just like, there's military just asleep in that hallway. Like, it's real good for building a history of your fortress. And then, like, you put those coins onto, like, pedestals or something, and they have descriptions of the year and all that. And, like, that stuff's cool. A lot of flying squids. They're technically birds, but birds don't have their own sprite. I'm very happy that Tarn's just like, oh, yeah, we're probably going to be expanding the Forgotten Beast sprites. They're kind of just placeholder. He said that a couple times. Especially considering things like boogeymen also have very generic looking sprites. It's going. Bob, it's going. Working on the gold coins, silk trousers, yep. Beds, yep. Still working on the silver statues. I'm just gonna jump down to here. Do we still have tetrahedrite to smelt? Kyra Asylum, what kind of dwarf would you like? Bunch of dwarves are found dead. Angerburb attacked the fort, and Zas, Rovad, Telenartho, Urvad, and Datan have all been found dead. So I'm going to send the military right here, or send the military to attack this thing. It's probably going to get at least 2 more. Rakus and Lore are fighting with it. It's pretty heavily injured. It's been injured. Smelter, metalworker, smith, give me like 90 seconds. We've got, what is it fighting with currently? How did it kill Tellin? Forgotten Beast grabs the chief medical dwarf by the lower body with his upper right leg, and then bites the chief medical dwarf, and the injured part collapses. How? Well, I need a new chief medical dwarf. We'll give it to Cog. It's shooting more. Where did it go? Oh, Jesus. Running up to the top. Sending the military up here. It's fighting with my clothers. There's a dwarf, or there was a dwarf, who had an axe who was fighting, which was Zon, who seems to have done some damage to it, considering it's bleeding now. Whoa! Dude, no. Well, that's unfortunate. Anyways, let's see. Arash the merchant is fighting with the creature, and are we getting Death Spiral? Awesome. The military has finally arrived, and Nerev is leading the charge, stabbing the creature repeatedly with a spear as this weaver goes, whee! Splat, which is very unfortunate. And back up here, the soldiers are continuing to fight with the creature, and its intestines are falling out, and the dwarves have finally taken its head. Are there some creatures I have never seen in Dwarf Fortress? I've never seen a strangler. Dang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh boy. Anyway, it's dead. So, let me just run back through in the chat real quick. Cajun Bard, you used to be rich. Congratulations. Smelter, metalworker, smith, any of those, preferably bearded. I love how, like, literally none of my metalworkers or my trained metalworkers have a beard. They're all ladies. So either lady or I'm gonna need an option 2. How many casualties? 13. You would have claimed the Forgotten Beast Killer? I don't know. The fort's still going? Yes, somehow. Lady is fine. Which one would you like then? Because you got 3 armorers, a blacksmith, and 2 furnace operators. Who do you want? Nish? Okay. Nish is now Kyre. Asylum. She is truly fulfilled by assisting those in need, and she is quite ambitious, and thinks she is fairly important in the grand scheme of things, and tends to assume that the worst of 2 outcomes will be the one that comes to pass. She tends to make a small mess with her own possessions, and she is grateful when others help her out. And she tries to return favors, and she doesn't try to get things done perfectly. She doesn't mind wearing something special now and again, and tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions. She is trusting, and she sometimes acts with little determination and confidence, and she isn't particularly interested in what others think of her. Telenartho, I have bad news. Chat, do you want to tell Telenartho the bad news? Mods, can I get a shout out for Telenartho if you're still at Metalhead Unleashed? By the way, the sound commands should work for you now. Sorry for not updating that. She doesn't mind wearing something special now and again, and tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions. She is trusting, and she sometimes acts with little determination and confidence. She is not particularly interested in what others think of her and scratches her head when she's nervous. She dreams of raising a family and personally strongly believes that a peaceful and ordered society without deceit is best. Finds blind honesty foolish. And she likes graphite and billin and moonstone and cuttlefish leather and naked bulldog tooth and linen paper and cages and bracelets and ducks for their quacks and giant iguanas for their head bobs and the sound of the mellow saffron on the sight of the tressed flower. When possible, prefers to consume 2-humped camel and foxtail mullet beer and sand pears, and absolutely hates leeches. She's corpulent and her hair is dry. Her very long hair is arranged in double braids. Her eyebrows are low and her head is somewhat tall. Her hair is buff and her skin is brown and her eyes are emerald and her ears are somewhat splayed out. Yeah, your dwarf is no longer with us, unfortunately. So I'm sorry, is the easiest way to say that. Yep, Rip Dwarf indeed. I have coffins. Two. We also had 3 dwarves that got vaulted into the water. Fort had a rough day. He lost 80 dwarves to an undead siege. You had 56 upset dwarves, left down to 20 who are upset, but we are recovering. It's rough, though. Yeah, I mean, at least we lost literally all of our depressed dwarves in that fight, I think. That's kind of insane, actually. Because we had, like, 3 dwarves in this tier and a few in this tier, and they're all gone now. Well, that's kind of whack job, bananas. Hello, Laya. How are you? What, death cures depression? Only for the person who had it. Speaking of depression, let's see how many books we have in this library. That's completely unrelated to depression, and that's fine. How's that library doing? Well, the hospital's already getting some use, actually. Does it have stuff in it? Yay, it has all the stuff it needs. I just need to get it some soap. Library has 1 book in it. See you later, Nerev. Take care. You're eating a pickle? I'm jealous. I'd like a pickle. UGDPY is just hanging out in the library. Let's throw some more doors in here and start getting these set up. Do I have any more coffins just yet? Nope. There you go. Tomb for Telenartho. Elf Bowman is fighting. I have no idea how much shit's on the surface, though, so. Let's also throw some more tombs in. None yet. Hopefully we can get these dudes put away pretty quickly. Dwarf Fortress, Forgotten Beast, Accidental Therapist. I mean, mayors and barons are therapists. They provide a shoulder to cry on, which is quite literally that. At least in Dwarf Fortress's way of doing things. A tomb maker? Yeah, it's like a matchmaker, but way scarier. Also go down here and build more beds. This is my artifact door. Yep, yeah, that is. Is there already alchemy? Could you imagine? There's Telenartho. Rest in peace, you dwarf. This fort is kind of hard to visually navigate. But I do agree with what was stated a couple times earlier that this fort's really cool to look at. It's just kind of hard to navigate sometimes. But it is really cool to look at, just because of its verticalness. Don't I use hotkeys? I do. I just don't use them very much. Like, I mean, I got these, but I find that if I use too many, or if I'm watching streams that use too many hotkeys, I have a hard time following stuff, so I try not to use them too much for that reason. Like, I find Dwarf Fortress much easier to follow visually when the camera's panning instead of teleporting. Like, it's way easier to, like, figure out what's where when watching. So I might be wrong there. Maybe I should just use way more hotkeys, but... But, you know, it's kind of like when watching RimWorld, I don't particularly like it when they're constantly just panning around the camera for no reason, so... So, Kit Fox Games just tweeted, like, 40 minutes ago. Since this is now the X site, we will now be referred to as XXX Kit Fox XXX. To which I have to respond, unless they change their like, their username to that, then, like, no, no balls. Like, come on. Go all in with this, then. Do it, you won't. And I appear to have been followed by 3 mostly naked ladies on Twitter. Yay, bots. No, there was 1 extra X at the end. Instead of teleporting? Yeah. It makes it exceptional? Oh boy. Don't tell Elon that. You'll inflate his ego. Ral, were you one of the ones that was killed in that? No. No, you were not. Completely unrelated, even. Yeah, something that, like, I guess I need to kind of, like, just state is, like, when I play games on my own time, I play them quite a bit differently than I do when I play them on stream. When I play games on stream, I play games way slower. And I also, like, there's a lot more downtime when I'm streaming than when I'm just playing. Mostly because, like, I try and keep the games as easy to follow as possible optimally, so. You just think he wants to sync Twitter because he was forced to buy it? There's a pretty legitimate theory that what he wants to do... Well, so Twitter is a, or was, I guess, a place that a lot of people who were very left-leaning used to congregate, organize protests, remind people to vote, stuff like that. I think he's just trying to make sure that that entire demographic doesn't have a website to do that on anymore. By making it as unattractive to that group of people as possible. Do I play DF off stream? No, not outside of recording.
On YouTube and want to support your streams.
Thanks, Hexen. Cheers, dude. Means a lot. And thanks for, like, subscribing proper, because, like, you know, I think as of today, we've probably got enough subscribers now that we're good for July. For long story short, Twitch a couple months ago announced that from the 1st of July, starting on the 1st of July, if Twitch partners can hold 350 paying subscribers for 3 months consecutively, then you'll automatically be upgraded to a 70-30 split with Twitch. And we've had like 350 to 400 paying subscribers since December. And I think like as of like this morning, we've probably hit 350. So month 1, gotta do this for 2 more months. So thank you very much for the second month, Hexen. Means a lot, dude. It would be like incredible if we could pull those numbers off, because it would mean a very large pay raise for me. Let's get these tombs created. Yeah, no, I mean, like, there is also that. Like, should we credit him for being smarter about this than he actually is? I don't know. You sure? Gonna scroll back up to where my masonry shops are.
Had to drop my sub for a while. Stupid life. But I'm back for a bit.
Life is important. Take care of yourself first. Don't worry about me. Streamer's doing okay. But thank you very much, regardless, Kyra Asylum, for the 7th month. Welcome back. Thanks a lot. Seriously. Ultra-liberalism has gained space. At least it shows that it is universally seen as happening. It implies the left is not welcome in society. No, not society. In specific locations. Like, here's the thing, right? We discussed this yesterday. Yelling about shit on the internet is the worst thing that you can possibly do. When you disagree. So, different groups of people need different places to congregate so that they can organize in real life for anything. Right? And if the place that they've used to organize for a very long time is suddenly very bad for that, yeah, they're going to stop using it. Got nothing to do with not being allowed in society. At least where I live, the left is very much allowed in society. But I don't know. I'm just pissed off about losing Twitter because it's making parts of my job way more difficult. Or tedious, I guess, is maybe the better way to put it. I mean, I don't live in France, right? So I don't have that. I don't have that context or comparison, I suppose. So you're saying that I'm implying something that I'm not implying? It doesn't matter what you believe in politically, you need a space to organize. So Guy doesn't like certain group of people, buys the space where they organize, and then make it a space for people that he likes to organize. Then a lot of people stop using the site. Kind of that simple. No, because Musk has this weird childish fetishization with the letter X, like some child. So no, he would much rather call it X because that's what he wanted to rename PayPal to when he was on that board. Hexen, thank you very much for gifting out a subscription, by the way. It means a lot. Here's friend. Unless I plan to split it in 2. I was planning on splitting it into 2, but I think one dwarf just gets a big tomb. So there are places, certainly, but I really like Mastodon, but Mastodon is not a great space for mass organization because believe it or not, the openness of how Twitter used to operate was part of why it was so useful. Because it's all centralized, and because of the way that platform operated, it made it a very good space to organize, but it's not anymore. Like Mastodon, yeah, if you get a bunch of people into a space, it'll work. Oh, hey, look, another one. Thanks, Elfie. Because X multiplies your monies. I'm pretty sure X is just costing him money right now, but I mean, sure.
Dropping this from Lurk.
Elon had a kid named a bunch of symbols. I'll be honest with you, I haven't paid very much attention to his family life. FG Squared, thanks for the 49th month. Happy birthday, by the way. Chat, say happy birthday to FG. Your birthday. But, yeah, no, it's, I don't know. Not my fault. Anyway, yeah, no, dude confuses me. Did kind of lose a bunch of dwarves over here, didn't we? Thanks for giving me the ability to change the subject, FG. Even if it's at your expense. Do that and that. Introduction. It's not your birthday. It's always your birthday. What are you talking about, FG? What's up, Cabal? How's things? Dogs be with you? I don't know where the dog is, but cat is right there. He's very old. Uh-oh. Another one. The Forgotten Beast, Gedor, has come. A gigantic humanoid composed of ash. It has a pair of branching antennae, and it appears to be emaciated. Well, that is weak as all hell. It's a very funny looking Forgotten Beast. Look at the baby Drothlas. They're so cute. Don't you hurt the baby Drothlas. You monster. No! Not the baby Drothlas. Not the baby You bully. What a goddamn guy. And why was it forgotten? All Forgotten Beasts are forgotten. I mean, that one was forgotten because of how irrelevantly weak it is. Oh, it's ugly? Yeah, well. To dissolve in water? You know, it's funny. They're also supposed to be lava-proof until they're not. Like, I've found Forgotten Beasts that are just like, it's made of... It's like, well, yep, that should be lava-proof, and then it runs into lava and just bursts into flames, so... Alright, let's... I really need a necromancer in this fort again. I was initially planning on doing that, and I was hoping I'd get another migrant one, but... I don't remember why they were forgotten. Yeah, I don't know, we forgot. Clearly. Alright, so I think we're going to begin moving my stoneworking industry, because currently it's all up here, and this is just kind of a bad spot for it. Same with this stockpile. This stockpile also needs to go. This also needs to go. But all this needs to move elsewhere. I'm thinking like maybe in this pillar somewhere. Maybe like right around here, this level. Go like somewhere around here, maybe? Or we could go a little further down. I don't know, this gets a little small. We could also go up. Yeah, you know, actually, let's go up here. This is where our new stoneworking industry is going to be. Archangel, thanks for the $1. Appreciate you. 15 seconds left on the train. A small one. Thanks, though, chat. All right, we're going to work all the way up to there. And all the way over to here. Cody is fighting. Various other things are fighting. We're going to move our stoneworking industry to over there. You right here are going to get a door. I'm going to make you into a bedroom. The other thing I'm going to do is I need to find a source of sand. Turns out, surprise, there's some sand right here. So I'm going to make a sand collection zone right there. And we're going to start transporting sand. I'm also going to make a new seed stockpile up here because I have deleted my other one, and this is going to become like seeds and food, basically. I've been working on this large storage area up here, and it's just going to be for seeds. Should be named Slinky and one of the... I think I still have a toy Slinky, actually. If we're talking about, like, the large springs. Let's do that. And this. 0 barrels. Yeah, didn't toy Slinkies come from, like, old battleship parts, or is that an urban legend? Cow hair thread. Oh, damn. Horsehair thread, cow hair thread, and pigtail. A lot of people are weaving thread into cloth. A lot of people are storing items in places. What can let's smelt garnerite ore, which I think is tin. Magnetite ore. Keep working on metal objects. I mean, you're French, right, Moreb? Obviously, you don't understand things like mandatory overtime and abusive bosses. Because you live somewhere with workers' rights. If you live somewhere without workers' rights, fucking they can do whatever they want. So this is a, Wait, hold on a second. You think people like it in the US? That's funny. People live there because they have no option, right? Like, you need to realize a lot of people live places because they were born there. And the way the economy works and the way life works, you don't always have the option to just move wherever. In fact, that's very rarely a thing. So, it's a very naive take to have. Many migrate there because it's better than the alternative and it's close, right? Like, when you're talking about, like, actual dictatorships versus the US, most people would move to the US. Yeah, the American dream died in the 1970s. So I think it's extremely, like, in poor taste and short-sighted to be like, and people like it there? It's like, well, that's just kind of mean to say. Propaganda's effective. Agushka? Even a nightmare is still a dream, technically? Well, I mean, like, to give you an idea, somebody that one of my neighbors was talking about recently is moving from a tiny little island known as Cuba to Miami, Florida. And this person is a friend of my neighbor, right? And he's told this friend that, hey, if you move to Miami, we're never hanging out again because I like going to Cuba, never going to fucking Miami. So just realize that, like, and this person's moving there because that's where her kids are, right? To Miami. Like, she's got, like, most of her kids have moved to Miami. But in a lot of cases, it's people move somewhere because, like, that's where they can get a job, right? There's also a certain personality type that works really well in American culture. There's several personality types, I think, that work really well in the way the US operates. And if you fall into that particular line of thinking, then, which is generally a pretty selfish way of thinking, then, yeah, go live your life. Go to the place you want to go to. But just about every American native that I know, whenever I have a talk with them, it's always the topic of, so, like, could you get me into Canada? Comes up. Because... Our second once-in-a-generation recession in, like, 20 years. Yeah, teenage pregnancy. No, I don't feel like getting married. Thanks, Shaq. Because, like, in order for me to get you into Canada, that's what I would need to do. We'd have to get married, and yeah, nah. Sorry. I'm good. Hard pass on that. That's not being in Canada, though. Isn't a good, stable job also an option? Are you a doctor? Polygamy is illegal in so many places. Don't want a Twitch-ordered bride? Good lord. Sorry, please just, like, erase that sentence from my brain so I never need to think about it ever again for the rest of my existence. Thanks. A truck driver is an option? I mean, that'll get you in and out of Canada many times, but will it get you into Canada? Not really. Depends on what you're driving at that point, I suppose. It's the easiest place to immigrate. Have you tried? Like, speaking of Forgotten Beasts, the Forgotten Beast Elos Distraught, a hairy Dimetrodon, it has a curling trunk and a bloated body. Its brass hair is long and wavy. Beware its poisonous sting. This one can't fly, so it probably can't get into my fort. Where'd the Ash Beast go? I don't know. It was on a layer that I don't have access to. Probably died. No, it's illegal to live in Antarctica, and as soon as they find you there, they will evict you because the entire place is protected. It's one giant nature reserve, so, no. Compared to other countries, the paperwork is easy. Sure, but the requirements ain't. Unless you're a refugee, it's pretty hard to immigrate to Canada. Or married to a Canadian, it's pretty hard to immigrate. I have family members who had to immigrate to Canada, so. The Pacific Garbage Patch? How would you get there exactly? I wouldn't describe that as easy, Moreb. At all, in fact. Canada taking Polish refugees. What are you a refugee from? Canoe? It's a bit optimistic. I don't think I can get in. Thinking that you could get to the Pacific Garbage Patch in a canoe? Actually, a bit optimistic is an understatement. Oh, I guess I made all the coffins queued up. Let's make 80. All right, let's continue moving the stoneworkers industry. Gonna go here and we're going to make iron minecart. 10 of them. I mean, in places, yes, but they're also like literally using boats to cut away at it. So I think it would be smarter at this point to like, you know, get beachfront property at the far end of like somewhere that's going to be underwater in 20 years than it would be to settle on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Neopets metaverse is dead, apparently. Oh, no! Anyway, wait, hold on. I need to Google this. Neopets metaverse. Holy fuck, this is a long tweet. Yes, it is dead. Also, agreeing Neopians is a term I never want to see again. Yeah, okay, so essentially they're moving to a new era and getting rid of NFTs. That's, kind of funny, actually. Cool. Maybe the smartest thing I've ever seen an NFT project do. Not the NFTs, anyway. Just remember, Neopets was owned by Scientology, the Church of Scientology, for quite a long time. Wait, what? Did you not know that? I mean, they quietly bought it. You know, there's a video on this subject. Thanks, people make games. A pretty short video. Did they use it for recruitment? Mostly just a profit driver, but probably? There's been a lot of oh no anyways in this stream in the last 5 minutes, Raging Cave. Recruitment drives profit, sure. And service guarantees citizenship in the planet, in the next universe, once we've all moved on to wherever the fuck. Okay, so this is just going to be for everything but metal ores. And then I'm going to make a new stockpile down here for everything but metal ores. So this is going to be called ore. Going to be called bars. And this one is going to be called boulders. That's going to be your track stop. And we're going to load everything except for metal ore. Get rid of all these. Load in an iron minecart. And we're going to load from this stockpile. Did anyone watch the UFO hearing in the US this morning? I was just waiting for like news stories to pick it up because I find those like presentations to be mind-numbingly boring. So I haven't watched it, but I know it happened. For reference, there legitimately is like this, not a joke, that the US did a hearing on UAPs this morning. Why? Did anything interesting actually come out of it? Are aliens visiting us every day? Did anything substantial come out of it? It was legitimately wild? Huh. Could you give us a TLDR? You're watching it now? Yeah, I don't know. A streamer I know was doing a reaction stream to it this morning. Like, was just streaming it and just chatting. I'm so, like, out of practice at making content like that. I don't know what to do when, like, things like that happen. It's like, should I just sit here and watch it? Like, I don't know. But it's not aliens. Okay, cool. Tell me something I didn't know. Scientologist, one of the things which caused the most damage to them was South Park. Wait, really? I know that my dad used to have a coworker who got way into Scientology, and it literally ruined his life. Okay, thank you for the no fun explanation of what UFOs are, Lyagushka. I appreciate you very much. I don't care. If it's not a UFO if it ain't aliens. Bleh. Let me sit here and thumb my nose at you and go nerd or some sort of equivalent. And this is where chat goes, streamer bullying chat. Or something. Did Burnvault burn to the vault? No, but we lost a bunch of doors to yet another forgotten beast, so that happened. Trying to fix our production industries. But we're still trying to burn the vault. Did Papageno survive? He's still alive, and he's still alive behind me. TLDR, non-human organic entities have been retrieved. Objects have been retrieved. There's a cover-up. And it's not so common to encounter UFOs now. And there's a standard pre-flight briefing for military pilots expected to encounter UFOs. That's fucking wild, actually. Say that I don't exactly believe half of what they're saying, but no one knew a damn thing about it in Congress, but I digress. It's definitely interesting. Huh. Damn, that's a... Okay, hold up. Oh, I know why stuff's getting canceled. These were all blocks, queued up as blocks. And I just displaced all of the blocks by deconstructing those workshops, so. They're all getting moved around. Let's do iron wheelbarrows. Copper wheelbarrows. Copper wheelbarrow, and let's just do 30 of them. Then you are going to get wheelbarrows assigned. Otherwise, all of my dwarves are just going to be hauling boulders all day. Non-humans means cats, definitely. Telenartho, can I ever fund that? I don't know. Like, you gotta let somebody else have the opportunity. Happiest child available? Okay, the only one. I really wish that you'd let somebody who hasn't had a dwarf in a while have a dwarf. Because, like, recently... No, I'll give it to you, but, like... There are some people in this chat that are ridiculously good at getting dwarves. If you're gonna be so good at it, give it away sometimes, because I just keep having the same people, and then there are other people that are constantly disappointed. So either I need to change the system at some point, or you guys need to be a little bit more generous, because this is getting a bit nuts. Tellin Artho the second. Only rarely feels strong cravings or urges and lives at a slow-going and leisurely pace. He's not a private person and freely shares details of his life, and he likes to brawl. And he doesn't mind a little tumult and discord in day-to-day living. And he is conflicted by this since he values harmony as an intellectual concept. He finds helping others to be emotionally rewarding and doesn't focus on material goods. Tends to assume that the worst of two outcomes will be the one that comes to pass, and he has a calm demeanor. He prefers to present himself modestly, and he tries and he is a bit stubborn in changing his mind about things and needs alcohol to get through the working day. Hi, Angry. I'm blind. He personally believes that peace is preferable to war, disdains the law, and values a harmonious existence, and values tradition, and is not particularly interested in what others think of him. He likes earthenware and green glass and hemp fabric and high boots and turkeys for their wattle, and horseshoe crabmen for their ability to hide in the sand, and prefers to consume garden cress and blueberry wine and mog juice, and absolutely hates bats. I'm pretty sure I've seen like a supercut highlight reel of the Scientology episode of South Park. He has a once thin frame now bearing enormous thick layers of fat. His very long beard is arranged in double braids, and his short sideburns are neatly combed. His very long mustache is neatly combed, and his gold eyes are slightly close set, and his ears are somewhat short, and his hair is cinnamon, and his skin is a crew. But yeah, try it, like, especially if you had a dwarf today die. Like, try and let some other people have dwarves. Like, let's share a little bit, because it is a little bit absurd how quick some people are to get dwarves, and then nobody else gets them. And that just kind of sucks. But yeah, no, I mean that's nuts if that's true. That UAPs are such a common thing, but oh yeah, no, same. I'm skeptical as well. I mean, which is why I didn't watch it, because it's like, oh, military shit. Okay, you've never gotten a dwarf. That's not true. You've had dwarves, Shaq. What? You're damn sure I've named a dwarf shack place before. The Forgotten Beast, Muz, has come. A towering quadruped composed of alabaster? How tough is alabaster? It has a square shell and a bloated body. Beware its poison vapors. That's kind of scary. Can't fly, though. Oh, so this is Mestri. Mestri is a great scaly bristleworm. It has thin wings of stretched skin and a bloated body. Its slate gray scales are jagged and overlapping. Beware its deadly spit. So, they fight quite a bit. They're on top of each other. And it appears Muzz won, and Mastery is now dead. So congratulations, Muzz, on your murder. After the last patch, the world is generating slower. I didn't notice a difference, but I also got a way bigger CPU in the recent times, so. Ponder bandages. UGDPY is content after pondering bandages. You've been a xenonaut and not a dwarf. Right. I mean, xenonauts might actually have better life expectancy. Can I just, like, send you down here? I'm curious if... we just haven't found them yet? Nope, we've definitely found them. Geshud, the craftsdwarf, has been taken by a Feymood. The amount of blood in this fort is getting a little bit absurd. Mundane shadiness. Yes, the boring dystopia shadiness. So yeah, I don't know. For me, I will just simply state that the briefing today that the U.S. military did about unidentified UAPs. Cool. That's all I really have to say. Show corpse. Show the matter. Show us the bits that you've recovered from these ships. Also, show us the ships. They've probably recovered something from them, right? Like, if you've actually found things that ain't human, what do they look like? Is short for what? UAP? Aerial something. Unidentified aerial something. It's essentially just unidentified flying object, but rebranded. I could Google it. UAP. I found some dwarves that were lost in space naturally. Aerial phenomena, that's it. Unidentified aerial phenomena is UAP. Unreal awesome plane. There you go. A really awesome plane. Also, hi, Lifeguard. What's up? I personally would prefer an unidentified aerial pantomime, but did I hit bedrooms instead of tombs? I think I did. There we go. We're finally getting the last of those bodies put away. And before somebody built a drone that carried around the remains of a cat. That is a fucked up thought, dude. Like, genuinely, like, that's kind of fucked up. Poor kitty. If somebody does that, I hope they go to prison for animal abuse. I mean, they're using spiders, like dead spiders, to make machines. So, like little grabby hands. Got a dwarf in a strange mood. Ah, you're an accomplished glassmaker. Well, that's no good. They're really efficient grabbies. Yes. I was going to make a really insensitive joke, but I'm just going to not. Okay, one glass furnace. Locked at this location? By what? Did I click on the wrong glass furnace? Yes, I did. I need the magma glass furnace. I'm going to end up being made out of steel bars. Yes. Want metal bars, raw green glass. Okay. Let's collect sandbag. Well, I need a sand zone, I think. Would do that, but it's too covered in blood. It's kind of dystopian. Let's do that, and then make a collect sand zone right here. Back down here. Can train brain cells to accomplish tasks. Yeah, they were training brain cells to play Pong, weren't they? I remember reading something about this. Empty bag. Needs empty bag. Also, apparently I'm out of gold. How much cloth am I sitting on? 625, apparently. Let's make 100 cloth bags. Teaching someone to play Pong? Hold on. Here's the article. Like, literally individual brain cells. Just like you, for real? 2 brain cells? Learn to play video game? Right, let's make some more clother shops. And then let's see, have they actually started using those bags for seeds? No. Does my other food stockpile allow seeds, or have I screwed up somewhere? Yes, you do. Well, there we go. So do you. Wow, how did I manage that? Please move the seeds, dwarves. It's my time to shine and be okay, and Pong is now. There you go. There we go. Finally, we're getting these seeds put away. It serves as a string that holds both ears together. A string that... Then what about your eyes, nose, and mouth, then? And all of the muscles connected to it? So we're getting this area all cleaned out. Jump back down to the glass furnace and go over here. There we go. We can now collect a piece of sand. And once we've collected sand, I can make green glass. And I think we're also going to state that it is time for us to begin pumping some lava somewhere. So I need an area to be able to pump lava up. I'm thinking basically just up till about here. Then we can pump it elsewhere from here. Because I kind of want to lava this cavern largely, or large chunks of it, so that I can build walls in this cavern easily. Let's just go like right here. Ooh, that's not gonna work. Let's go like right here. Just make sure this will work. Down, 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 down. Sweet. It'll work. You will never get a hold of it? If you keep saying that, you won't. If you don't say that, you will. Not too bad. This game is a lot, but it's certainly not impossible. Do you prefer more strategy-oriented for Factorio style of management simulators or the more story engine RimWorld style games? RimWorld isn't a story engine. Well, I don't like Factorio. Factorio isn't even remotely inspired by Dwarf Fortress. RimWorld is a tower defense game that I don't like playing. But I would say I like the more story generators types of games. Lords and Villains is a good example of a game that's pretty cool. I'm curious and eager to play more Norland. I used to like Normoria back in the day before it was completely abandoned. RimWorld is too much of a tower defense game for me. If you make a tower defense game, I think the vast majority of games that claim that they're inspired by Dwarf Fortress in the past just did it because Dwarf Fortress was this mythical management sim that just stating inspired by Dwarf Fortress will net you an extra 100,000 sales. So people just did that as a marketing scheme, and I think the majority of them are like boring. So that's kind of my take. I generally don't like games that claim to be inspired by Dwarf Fortress because they're usually nothing like Dwarf Fortress, or completely miss what makes Dwarf Fortress interesting and special. All right, I'm gonna make a craftsdwarf shop or a craftsdwarf's guild right here. Yeah, well, I mean, the paper industry in Dwarf Fort's a little silly, but we're stuck in an ad now, so. But why do you ask? Cody Dog, if you can hear me. And are not stuck in an ad currently. Well, I would say that, like, Dwarf Fortress has inspired a genre of games. I mean, Dwarf Fortress Moreb was largely, like, one of the first successful colony builders. If you could call Dwarf Fortress successful for the first, like, 20 years of its existence. Trimcoff, thanks for the penny. So, I mean, it certainly helped inspire a genre of game. But, like, generally, I would say, yeah, I would rather just play Dwarf Fortress if given the option between playing Dwarf Fortress or playing a game that's inspired by. I don't like Factorio type games, and I don't particularly like RimWorld. And most games are more inspired by RimWorld anyways when they claim to be that, or they're more inspired by The Sims. And I find The Sims to be rather dull. Timberborn is, like, sad to me. The game makes me kind of sad. Timberborn has lovely music, and it's a very well-made video game. But oh my god, it's boring. How useful are quantum stockpiles? Shrug. They make organization a bit easier. I like them for certain types of things. I don't use them for everything. It's more like Settlers 1 to you than DF? I guess so. For me, like, Timberborn is a boring game because it's entirely based on a worse version of mechanics that Dwarf Fortress has, and I would rather just mess around with those mechanics in Dwarf Fortress than, you know, in another game. So you need more raw green glass? Yes, you need more. Well, I mean, to put it simply, I don't like the vast majority of games that claim to be inspired by Dwarf Fortress because they miss the point of what makes Dwarf Fortress great. So, the vast majority of games that are inspired by Dwarf Fortress, I don't like. There's a lot of really not great games out there that have extraordinarily positive reviews because they're cute, and it confuses me to no end. Speaking of first strategy games, played to DF was Aurora 4X. I mean, like, Aurora 4X, Star Sector, Cataclysm, Dark Days Ahead, Project Zomboid all kind of have some things in common with Dwarf Fort in that they're like weird, endless development forever projects. Caves of Cut is kind of the same thing, right? was just gonna type in a thing, but then I lost it. Ah, right. Chat, do you ever just go, you see a game announced and you go, oh god, please don't be shit, 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 please don't fuck it up, Firefly. You're incapable of making good modern video games. If you fuck this up, I will be very, very, very sad. Please don't fuck this up. Please don't fuck it up. Just don't fuck it up. Stronghold HD was fine. Don't fuck up the definitive edition. Oh my goddest gods, I know, right? It's like they are making a definitive version of Stronghold. And I swear to God, if they fuck it up, I will be very sad. They're like doing what like Microsoft did with Age of Empires, basically, where they're just going through and remaking the whole thing. Totally, but I would like to run it at a modern resolution without mods natively, you know? Stronghold is gorgeous, and I can't wait to stream it. Can't wait to stream a bunch of it. You wish it was focused fully on Sandbox? I like the campaign of Stronghold. There you go. Oh boy. You know, I'll be completely honest, it's been so long since I've played Stronghold, I couldn't tell you. I haven't played Stronghold since I was like, I was born in 94, so I haven't played Stronghold since I was like 5 or 6. I've played a bunch of more recent Stronghold games, and every single one of them has made me want to throw up in my mouth slightly more. Not really. Well, I like Space Haven. Space Haven is probably the best space game out there. Odd Realm also does a good job, but nobody plays Odd Realm, which is a fucking shame. There's a couple. I don't know. This is a weird conversation because it just ends with me talking shit about games. Songs of Six isn't even inspired by Dwarf Fortress. The developer of Songs of Six has stated many times publicly that he's never played Dwarf Fortress. Songs of Six is inspired by Pharaoh and Total War, and Dungeon Keeper, which is why it has almost nothing in common with Dwarf Fort. It's because there's no tutorials for Odd Realm. Anyway, we got that first glass artifact going, so now I just got to do this. And you've wanted to try Dungeon Keeper? If you play Dungeon Keeper, just make sure you get Keeper Fix, which will make Dungeon Keeper 2 run on like modern computers at modern resolutions instead of in a box the size of a postage stamp in the middle of your screen. You're less trying, E. We've all become lazy as time has gone on. But no, I largely no. Most games that openly advertise themselves as inspired by Dwarf Fortress just disappoint and make me angry. That's generally the only result I get from games that claim to be inspired by Dwarf Fortress. It's like, this is nothing like Dwarf Fortress. Most of them just leave me feeling that way. Wow, this is nothing like the thing you claim it's like. Like, did you even play the thing you claim it's like? Because Jesus. What are you even doing? Because clearly you've never played the source of your inspiration, of your supposed inspiration even. So it can't be much of an inspiration if you've never played it. How was the current remaster fair? I never played it. I heard decent things. They redid the combat, which upset some people. The RimWorld guy has stated he doesn't play Dwarf Fortress, but you love RimWorld. You know, the first time I ever came into contact with RimWorld, and I talk about this a lot. Hold on. This is the first time I ever came into contact with RimWorld. This is the first ever post by Tynan Sylvester on the Bay 12 Games forums. This forum thread has been read 763 or 773. I can read numbers. Anyway, a lot of numbers. 730,063 times. That's how you read numbers. I saw this thread in I think 2014. This thread is a self-promo post for RimWorld. Which initially, original thread was just, hey, I'm developing this. Check out the game. Shameless self-promote. Followed by, hey, we're running a Kickstarter. Same shameless self-promote. Followed by, hey, the game is now on Steam. That was the first piece of public press RimWorld got. Bullshit, he doesn't play Dwarf Fort. Bullshit. Marketed his entire fucking game off of Dwarf Fort. He owes all of his success to the Dwarf Fortress community. Tynan Sylvester would not be a multi-millionaire who, loves to charge entire games worth of prices for his video game once a year just for updates, for the courtesy of getting updates. Do I have it bookmarked? No, I just know how to Google search for it. Literally just type in Bay 12 forums, RimWorld. Gishud, the Craftsdorf has created Marchet Thumbstiz, a green glass armor stand. Ooh, and offers it to the Massive Danger. That's a cool artifact. This is a green glass armor stand. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is studded with bronze and encircled with bands of sheep's wool. This object is adorned with hanging rings of green glass and menaces with spikes of glass and wolverine leather. On the item is an image of spelt in green glass. Adds worse versions of workshop, downloadable workshop content as DLC. Yes. So yeah, I don't know. There's plenty of things to like about RimWorld, and I really don't like just sitting here and talking shit about RimWorld because a lot of friends that I have stream that game a lot and love it. but it's really easy for me to talk shit about RimWorld. I do genuinely believe that, like, that that game bothers me. So does Tynan, to a degree. It's like, okay. It's like you have one of the greatest works of art of all time in Dwarf Fortress, and RimWorld is the game that just took all of the ideas for profit. That's what it feels like to me. Why is there a bookshelf in the lava? That's not a bookshelf, it's a cabinet. And, I have no idea. It's a good question. This fort got, like, destroyed a couple of times, so... Let's see what I currently have for screw pumps. Decent number of those. All right. How are we doing for iron? Probably pretty good, if I were to guess. 635 iron. Cool. A lot of nickel. All right, let's just do 120 pumps. Iron cork. And iron pipe. Main issue with anything trying to copy DF is that they aim to be a game as long as DF doesn't give a fuck and just makes his magic and the world lives in it. I think the thing that most game developers who try and make games like Dwarf Fortress don't realize, in order to do what Dwarf Fortress is doing, you'll never survive as a business. Really. Unless you pull off like a Star Citizen and just end up with a community that will just pay all of your bills eternally, kind of like Bay 12 ended up with eventually. It took a long time, but Bay 12 eventually worked their way to a point where like they could largely just afford to just keep developing the game, because Dwarf Fortress is Dwarf Fortress because it never was developed like a modern game. It was never developed like a game that was designed to sell. It was a hobby project. It was an art project. And when you go into a game with the end goal of making it a commercial product, you're never going to appeal to me the same way Dwarf Fortress does. Dwarf Fortress appeals because it's not fully designed as a commercial product. Like, it is now. You can buy it, but it's still unfinished in a lot of ways that will annoy people for all eternity. And I think that's part of it. Like, unless you are developing systems...
Crypt Wave, thanks for the chill streams. Crypt Beer.
Ezra here, thank you very much for the Prime sub for a 4th month. Welcome back. Cheers, friend. Which is why, to a degree, like, I will point at things like Project Zomboid and be like, that's more comparable than RimWorld. Because Project Zomboid isn't developed in the same way as most modern games, right? This is why I feared its commercialization, but Toady seems to disconnect it enough to reassure you. I mean, like, did Toady seem any different on the talk that we just did? Like, there's a reason I've been getting mean comments on my YouTube videos about how slow the development of Dwarf Fortress is. They're not really directed at me. They're more just directed at the devs, but like they have no way of yelling at them, so they yell at me instead, which is sucks, but it's life. But largely what they're mad about is like, oh, this issue hasn't been fixed yet, or this issue hasn't been fixed yet, or this issue hasn't been fixed yet, and why aren't they working on this? It's like, well, they are working on that. But that's going to take a while, right? And so they're largely operating exactly the same ways they have before. And I think that is the way it should be. And I'm glad that they're largely operating the way that they did previously. Which, like I said, is going to annoy certain people. Like, some people are going to get really mad at Dwarf Fortress and will eventually, like, rage out of the game and will never play it again. And I think that sucks, but at a point, it's like, well, this is Dwarf Fort. Certainly not Vegas, so. I mean, like I've said many, many, many times, the bugs are not the thing that bothers me about Dwarf Fort. There are things that bother me about this game, and the bugs ain't that. Can't please all people all the time. No, absolutely. Devilish. But at the end of the day, I'm an extraordinarily fortunate individual. Like, the fact that I'm able to just, you know, stream Dwarf Fortress and literally pay all of my bills streaming this video game is incredibly privileged, and there's not a lot of people who get to do stuff like that. So I'm also probably not the best person to, only if you cheer 300 bits, is it, Sparta? I'm probably not even the best person to ask, like, about Dwarf Fortress development, because I'm biased, right? You know? The Forgotten Beast, Stag Shill. Chat, we're gonna shill for a stag. Has come. A huge hairy crocodile. It has a twisting jointed trunk and it squirms and fidgets. Its slate gray hair is long and wavy. Beware its noxious secretion. Zhzh. Man, these poor Drothlas are just gonna keep getting fucked up, man. Ugh. It's on the layer where it can't get to us. Drothlas have a lot of teeth and a lot of blood. It appears that your sub has run out, Devilish. Everybody should do what they like, but we are far from it. Oh yeah, we're not going to live in that world for a while. Placing items in tombs? Right. It's more of these pieces that are just stuck elsewhere. It's a brutal field. Yep. There's not quite the same as teaching, but there's a. You just reminded me of this song by saying brutal field, but there's a song by a band called the Beths. Kind of a hipstery, modern pop punk-ish band, and they have a song called "Expert in a Dying Field." I recommend listening to it. Also, my aunt and uncle are both teachers, and I don't envy them. We're bringing so many boulders up here. Eventually, this is going to start to clear stuff out. Take a long time, but we'll get there. Well, it's time to start building pump stacks. I think I should actually just do the one side first. Shark jumping walrus. What kind of dwarf would you like? Once all this is done and we actually have lava up on the surface, at that point we can start reclaiming the surface too. Because this is called Burnvault. The burning comes from the vault. Military? What German military? Captain? Wow. Not pulling any punches, are we? Sharky the Walrus Yeater is, forms strong emotional bonds with others, at times to his detriment, is sloppy with his living space, and is a perfectionist, and he tends to hang on to grievances, and he rarely feels discouraged, and he thinks he is fairly important in the grand scheme of things, and he is stubborn. He is often nervous, and he has an active imagination. Generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity, and tends to think before acting. He needs alcohol to get through the working day. He doesn't really care about anything anymore. He dreams of mastering a skill and personally views tranquility as one of the highest ideals, and has a negative view of those who exercise power over others, and dreams of mastering a skill. He likes saltpeter, rose gold, and lace agate, and giant rhinoceros leather, giant nautilus shell, corns, and large gems, and anvils and annals for their annals, and nautilus shell and annals for their dewlaps. What's it? I think I've looked up dewlaps before. It's the thingy on the head, right? And the words of the crystal turquoise and the sound of the sprinkles of bewilderment, and Impossible prefers to consume giant olm, beer, sorghum beer, and rye flour, and melon leaves, and absolutely hates burning maggots. He is wiry, and his very long beard is braided. His sideburns are clean-shaven, and his long mustache is arranged in double braids. His short hair is neatly combed, and he has a low voice. And his lips are thin, his gold eyes are slightly close-set, and there's blood all over the floor. He's killed nothing, and has 2 lovers, and his only daughter is dead. And, at Thurnit Drug, the amphibian man spearman has gone berserk because they've been hanging around the fort for too long. Welp. Sure, that's fine. Forgot all about the surface's existence. Yes. Trying to get caught back up on chat after reading that dwarf's description. Turns out it's real quick to build stuff when all the parts are just right here. So much blood. Yeah, the amount of blood in this fort is kind of insane, actually. This is pretty close to, I think, like the most blood I've just seen on the floors just around a fort. We just thought it would be a good idea to paint the floors red. You see the blood? The dwarves aren't bothered by the blood, so there's that. You see a red floor and you want to paint it black? It's just a Tuesday. Yeah, you get used to it after a while, I suppose. Laura the Weaver has created Mishakarush, a pigtail face veil, and offers it to the massive danger. Clother's been found dead. Excuse me. Oh, that amphibian man went nuts and killed one of my clothers. But was killed by a spear, but was able to kill Iden in the process. Well, that's unfortunate. This is a pigtail face veil. Our craft ship is of the highest quality. It is encircled with bands of pigtail, and it is made from pigtail cloth. This object menaces with spikes of gabbro and nickel. On the item is an image of Lull curled the frosty blame, the tower cap door in pigtail. On the item is an image of cushion cut gem in cushion cut gem in gabbro. On the item is an image of Fandigim, the helms of metal, a gold cage in Heliodor. On the item is an image of Olmo, Mothstream, the elf, and dwarves in Olmo. Olmo Mothstream is speaking with the dwarves. The artwork relates to the impersonation of the elf almost by the elf Olmo in the Imperial Coal in the early spring of 220. On the item is an image of a decahedral decahedron in nickel. I wonder if that's a notable event from history. Who had the nosebleed? Someone who's lusty, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think I need just like an everybody clean job and just assign everybody to just cleaning for a little bit, because it is getting kind of absurd, the amount of blood that's just around this fort. It probably doesn't help that I have like the blood spreading thing turned on where blood spreads as dwarves collide with it. Like they can push it around and get it stuck on themselves. This fort is a never-ending cleanup job? Kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah. I mean, that was also kind of the goal of it too, was I wanted this fort to just be an absolute mess. In that room, then creating a pool of blood that everybody then tracks everywhere because they're wiping their feet at the door. Yes. That is absolutely what's... It's an option you can turn on. Where blood spreads around. It basically just gives you more liquid interactions. I like it, but it is a lot. I have no idea why someone was missing for a week. Oh, nope. Okay, never mind. People keep like mysteriously going missing in this fort, and it happens often enough that I kind of like it. And then we keep finding them dead, contorted in fear, and it's like, reason, found dead. It's like, well, speaking of found dead, we found you. Is it also the frogman? God dang it. That's funny. I think it was probably actually the frog person. I mean, it may also be the ghosts. Although I think my kind of recklessness / carelessness in this fort is part of its appeal, so... I'm going to seal this off on this side. Although you actually are going to be suspended briefly. Because I'd like you. Uh-oh. Well, shit. So much for doing that safely. I accidentally dug into a thing I wasn't intending to. So can we get this unforbidden, please? Can we get this done, please? That would be good. If we could get that done quickly, that would be nice. And then I guess I can just go up top and dig down into here. Because I was intending on doing this safely, but oops. Oopsies, I suppose. Dwarf, you're smart. Dobar. Why you gotta do me like this? There's a DF hack command to launch Legends, but it'll crash the game 9 times out of 10. Legends Viewer doesn't work at all right now, by the way. The best way to access Legends mode while in Fort mode is just copy your install of the game and run 2 copies of the game. That is the best way to look at Legends while it's in-game in your fort. And I've definitely done that before. And I would recommend doing that if you would like to look at Legends mode while playing Fortress mode. You love the stupid dwarves. Yeah, they're entertaining in their idiocy. Your info is from, yeah, well, just realize that basically nothing that was compatible with that version is compatible with this version because the game has changed a lot. Between version 47.05 and version 50, there's kind of a lot different about this version of the game. So I wouldn't, like, just as an example, right now the game doesn't actually export enough information for Legends Viewer to work. So you can export the XMLs, but like Legends Viewer isn't compatible with this version yet. Nice blocks are pretty nice, but they're not lava safe. So I'm using Gabbro because it's lava safe and I have an abundance of it. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, never mind. I was going to say the siege is done. No, it's not. There's definitely a siege here. Why do you want a Weaver's Guild? Damn it. Wait, if you like playing in ASCII, why do you want a tile set, though? Or do you just want to use a different font? But yeah, I know what you mean. Glass is a fun lava safe material? Sure. You like square ASCII? Yeah, I gotcha. Well, personally, currently, I think the biggest priority is just to get those ports done, which I feel like should be out by now. I hope that Tarn got that thing sorted out with his house. He had like a weird, like, seemed like a gas leak, but it wasn't a gas leak in his apartment that he's currently living in. Like during the day when we interviewed him, so it's not a priority. I wouldn't say it's not a priority. It's definitely a priority. It's just not like #1. For me, I think the biggest priority for the game is just getting adventure mode out. He has a miasma leak? Sure, yeah. Definitely. Gotta say, I still can't get over that, like, look at the frame rate of this fort is insane. I know I only have 60 dwarves, but like, man, I used to be out of like the 90s in frames per second in this by like the latter half of year 2. And it's like, I don't know. I have all 3 caverns open. Like, there's all kinds of crazy water physics going on in this fort right now. Like, there's an ocean, which used to just be like, oh yeah, you want to start your fort at 40 FPS? Yeah, start on an ocean, which was the way it was back in the day. 90s, those were the times. You know, I don't really remember the 90s, which is kind of sad. Because a lot of the stuff that I look back on that I have a lot of nostalgia for is like 90s things, but I was born in 94. I was fucking 6 when the 90s ended. Out of curiosity, just because I'm curious about the demographic in this chat, is anybody here going to be playing the new Armored Core? Because I gotta say, footage of that game looks pretty fucking good. I was watching like that preview footage that they released, and whoa, you don't know what Man, you guys are either so old that you don't know what Armored Core is, or just live under a rock. Armored Core, it's the other franchise, or one of the other franchises of games that From Software makes, being Dark Souls, except it's giant robots. So it's mecha stuff. Massive robot versus even bigger robot. Mecha Soul? No, not really. It's not Mecha Souls. Armored Core predates Dark Souls. So, and also like the structure of those games is completely different to Dark Souls. Before Demon Souls? Oh yeah, absolutely. Unless you consider Kingsfield a Dark Souls game, but... I'd have to go look at a Wikipedia page, Wakapepe. This is a cave, but at least we have 64K internet. That's pretty slow internet. Could do better. Bitter it's not a Dark Souls. I have a feeling it'll do just fine. Although, like I said earlier, the game that I'm excited to see reviews for is Overwatch 2, because that's coming to Steam in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited to see the Steam reviews of Overwatch. I've always wanted to see Steam reviews of, like, of Blizzard games. Like, I want to see Steam reviews of World of Warcraft, man. Overwhelmingly negative. Like, I can't wait for Overwatch 2 to be, like, the worst reviewed game on Steam. Like, I'm a bad person for hoping for that, but... Yeah, it'll be mixed at best. Like, if it does well, it'll be mixed. There you go, Wakapepe. And traders have finally arrived. And finally opened the door. This fortress is a mess. Let's sell clothing that's falling apart. Well, so does Dwarf Fortress, Wakapepe. Heroes of the Storm much better. Granted, you speak of 6 to 8 years ago. I mean, Heroes of the Storm hasn't gotten a patch in that long, has it? Like, that game has been like, we're no longer developing this video game for a very long time. So does anybody still play Heroes of the Storm? To me, Heroes of the Storm just reminds me of Fury of the Storm, which is a Dragon Force song. So yeah, I would agree with you that Heroes of the Storm is better. Blizzard gave up on HOTS when Activision came onto the scene. Was that really when they merged? I'm pretty sure they'd merged already before that point. I thought the Activision Blizzard merger happened a while ago. Giant skunk leather gloves. Material. Yeah, I was gonna say, way before. Through the Fire and the Flames? Shaku? No, never. Please link all of the covers of it. It's from my, like, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I know a streamer named Chainbrain. He basically exclusively streams just, like, metal covers on Rocksmith. And most of the vast majority of the songs he plays are sight read on Rocksmith. And he got raided by Herman Lee and was like, well, I have to play Through the Fire and the Flames. I've never played this song before. And so he sight read Through the Fire and the Flames. It's pretty good. One of the best songs they played the last time I saw them was a Celine Dion cover, though. So, you know, don't take Dragon Force too seriously. How can you read and play that fast? I mean, how do you read a book that fast? The exact same way you read anything that fast. Stonecrafter's been found dead. Huh. Strange. They were dwarves? Yep. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Lost Vikings. Just gonna buy all of the meat first. Also, what's up, Hammer Dwarf? You're not supposed to read by lava pools. You're also supposed to turn down the brightness on your monitor if it's too bright. That would be my advice. Was your dwarf still alive? Yep, and I made them into a scholar. They've been pondering bandages for a while. Buy fish and plants. Just the fish, then. Betty's as drunk as you are? Are you drunk right now? If so, please drink water. Yeah, currently you have no job and you are melting a metal object, actually. Remove your other tasks. Let you just go be a ponderer full-time. Go ponder orb full-time. Just came back from the bar. Hell yeah. Any good drinks? What's your go-to, like, bar drink that you wouldn't normally make at home or get at home? I generally judge bars based on how well they can make an old-fashioned. If their default old-fashioned has decent whiskey and it's a well put together drink, then it's a decent bar. Fancy beers, gotcha. I won't go into a bar unless it has fancy beer, so I just hit the screenshot button on Steam. Trying to type in Gab. There we go. Rickards? Red or white is usually what I see it when it comes to Rickards. It was either their red ale or their white ale. Their red ale kind of tastes like stomach acid to me because I drank way too much of it once and threw up a lot. But just kind of don't like it all that much. If they have pinball and crap beer, you'll consider it. Gotcha. Just trying to get rid of all these items. It's pinball or crap beer, as reindeer. French drink, not an ale. Fair enough. I mean, it's in the title of the type of beer, but... Beer is beer. Yes, but not all beer is made equal. Okay, well then I was thinking of a particular, like, macro brew with a very similar name then. So, shrug. Not familiar with that liquor. Something about slapping that silver ball around quiets your mind. Slapping that silver ball around quiets your mind. I mean, I know that you're talking about pinball, but... we all have our zen place, right? Slapping balls, yes. Mm-hmm. It's part of the fun. Well, I mean, there's a reason they used to be covered in pinup girls in, like, the early days of pinball. There's a lot of really, like, horny as hell early pinball machines. Is it only me, or my preferred way for dog population control is the tavern? Explain? Your enter key is acting up? Those are a lot of things, like symbols I can't read. Yes? The catwalk on your keyboard or something? That or someone's just, like, putting pin numbers in. Enjoy your lurks, Raz? I mean, it's just a bunch of... it's just gibberish. It's like someone is just, like, face rolling their keyboard in Cyrillic. It is absolutely gibberish. Mate, please. It's the launch codes? Yeah, true. He's trying to launch the nukes. Just typing them in the wrong window. This is just War Games IRL. I should rewatch War Games. I remember that movie being really good, and I haven't seen it in like 20 years. Making up this... Yeah, so we've actually just tuned in to like a translator for a numbers station. Starting the cat explosions. It's trying to hack the internet, guys. We're doomed now. Place item in tomb. Well, I hear a bunch of sirens outside, so probably. You almost got it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just bopped it. I didn't ban him. I know who that person is. Like they've hung out in the chat before and said like tons of normal stuff. So I don't understand why it's just like first time they say hi today. It's just a bunch of random garbledygunk. But let's see if it launches the nukes. I mean, what? Was the portrayal of hacking was one of the best in Hollywood movies ever? Yep. I mean, it was bad enough that, like, NORAD went and upgraded their shit. Which is maybe one of my favorite, like, tidbits about that movie, is NORAD was just like, man, we can do better. Maybe they got high? Maybe. I don't think... You know, I've been high many times. Being high doesn't make me go into people's chat and just, like, randomly type in gibberish. But, you know, maybe I'm doing the wrong drugs. Eastern European shrooms. Eastern European shrooms, eh? It looks like cat typing. I mean, it could be cat typing. I don't know. It was just Cyrillic, right? It's just that alphabet. It doesn't really matter what language it was. It was all gibberish anyway. Get that ghost dealt with. God, I feel like I'm constantly just catching up with shit in this fort. UGDPY is pondering bandages and is quite happy. Tried to read it and gave up. I did this thing where, here, let me show you guys a life hack for Twitch chat. So, look at this. You scroll up to the thing, you select it, and then you click this button, and then Google translates it for you. The best part is I could text to speech. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Thanks, Google. I mean, yeah, it's like saying it's just like you just know the alphabet. You have no idea where that person's from. All right, we have a beekeeper who's been taken by a Fey mood. All right, so what are you going to go claim and do, dwarf? Oh, there's some symbols which are different. Oh, okay, I gotcha. I mean, Google claims Ukrainian, but fuck if I know. At least that's what it auto-detected. All right, chat room. So it's 2:06. I should probably take the dog out to have a little pee. My question is, do we want to keep playing this fort, which is starting to do quite well, or should we move over to Machine Waters? Holy shit, someone's cleaning up the blood. Or should we move over to Machine Waters? What would you guys prefer? Because it's been a while since we've played Machine Waters, and the goal of Machine Waters is just to flood hell and get 450 people in it. 450 dwarves. Nothing's up with it. Whenever I ask chat, they just say keep playing this fort. Because I let chat choose. You'd prefer a pepperoni pizza? I can't help you, Ben. All right. Well, if you guys would like, you can say goodbye, YouTube. We're going to be saying hello and goodbye to YouTube a couple times in the next couple minutes. But I think that's it for Burnvault for today. We are going to be moving on to Machine Waters. Seems a bit meh to you? I mean, it's a lot of big mega projects, but I am in the midst of drowning hell, so it's going to get less meh. So let's give it a chance, mate.